9 a.m. in the mid-state, so you know what time it is. Time for the Sumner County Sports Podcast. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another season with me. Of course, I'm your host, Zach Womble, and we've got a lot to get into this season. But up first is the fall sports, which means football, girls soccer, volleyball, cross country, and golf gets the love to start out the 2022-2023 school year. You can check out my work at mainstreetpreps.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Zach Womble, MSP. And we do have a little bit of a wrinkle this season. Joining us on the ones and twos is our good buddy, Justin Kulik, who interns. Well, technically interns. He's known as the intern by a couple people, but I call him Justin because he is a human being after all. So for this first episode, though, it's just basically going to be a hit of what's going on. No guests today, so it's going to be short and simple and to the point. And up first this week, none bigger than the high school football season kicking off. And you can actually check out all of my pick'em work on mainstreetpreps.com that I just posted on Tuesday. Well, I guess you're seeing this on Wednesday, so it's a day late. Maybe you've already seen it, but if you haven't, head on over to mainstreetpreps.com to check out the latest and see who I've got winning their week one matchups. This week, I think there's none bigger than Portland and Westmoreland. These two teams played last year to a very good football game that Portland won as time expired with, I believe, like a 30, 35-yard field goal. So the Panthers have got to make the quick trip to Westmoreland this season where the Eagles look to help get a little bit of revenge. And I've actually been telling a lot of people this year to don't sleep on Westmoreland. I know they only won a few games last year, but they return a very robust senior class this year with close to 25 seniors. And for a school like Westmoreland, that is a ton. But up first is going to be a really tough game against Portland, a team that I think is going to compete in their region as well, which is Region 7-5A with the likes of Springfield and Henry County. So I think that week one matchup is going to be the best in the county, but I don't want you to overlook Station Camp and White House. These two teams have opened up for the past 2 years against one another, and every year it's been the road team that has come away with the victory. This year, I actually like Station Camp to come away with a win. I think they're going to be very talented and going to be one of the best teams in the county. But for more information, again, head on over to mainstreetpreps.com to check out that pick'em to see what I got to say. And then certainly last but not least, certainly is Gallatin hosting Mount Juliet in what should be a pretty good game. You know, these two teams go back for long, long ways in their rivalry matchup. Mount Juliet may be a little bit too much for the Green Wave to handle, but again, head on over to mainstreetpreps.com to see what I have to say about that game as well as all the other games. You know, this season we're doing something a little bit different this year. I'm actually headed back to the studio like I did 2 years ago, where I will be hosting with George Plaster and Billy Derrick Friday Night Live, which essentially is the best high school football coverage that you can get in a 5-hour time frame from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. with the three of us. Up first, it's going to be myself and Billy from about 6 to 7 before George jumps in, joins us from 7 to 9. And then from 9 to 11, we basically wrap up all that happened in the mid-state. But during the meat of the show, the 7 to 9, we're going to highlight all of our reporters across the mid-state. So whether you're in Murray County or Robertson County or anywhere in between, we're certainly going to have you covered with wall-to-wall coverage on Friday Night Live. Other update for this week's podcast will be our player of the week. We obviously don't have one this week since no games have kicked off, but we'll pick back up with that next week with either, football player, girls soccer, volleyball, whomever it may be. Another wrinkle this year that we're doing as a company. So each county, so Sumner County specifically, will have one athlete to represent them in our Main Street Preps Player of the Week poll, which will go live for people to vote on as well. So be on the lookout for that. We're very excited about launching that this week or next week. So stay tuned as more details come out. As far as episode 39 of the Sumner County Sports Podcast, that's going to do it today. It's a quick update, just kind of give you an update on what's going on, a heads up to be on the lookout for stuff. So, next week we're going to bring in guests for episode 40. We wanted to hold off our guests for episode 39. It just didn't look great aesthetically, if I'm being honest with you. So we're going to bring in some guests for episode 40 next week. So make sure you're staying tuned to Main Street Preps for all that we have to offer. And as always, I will see you on the side.